This is the orientation video for Adler Graduate School course number 715, Holistic Assessment and Metaphor Therapy. The course presents two significant contributions to individual psychology clinical practice that were developed by my mentor when I was in graduate school, Rich Kopp. First, we will learn a strategy for identifying lifestyle information from interview data that Rich called holistic interviewing. He and one of his graduate students, Paul Shotland, developed the training manual and workbook that is a text for this course, and Paul used the manual in his dissertation. We will work through the training manual and work on a psychotherapy transcript to learn the holistic assessment process. In addition to the work on this transcript, we will develop skill in integrating data using a strategy defined by Rudolf Dreikurs known as 2 points on a line. And we will develop skill in identifying the fictional final goal and the purpose of behavior. Both of these skills are required to write a lifestyle summary and complete the holistic assessment process effectively. The second focus of this course is a method for using client-generated metaphors in counseling and psychotherapy that Rich details in his book Metaphor Therapy, which is also a text for this course. We will work through the 4-step process that Rich defines in the book, and then share transcripts of work on metaphors that are generated in a role play with a friend or a colleague. We are going to learn holistic assessment by working on a therapy transcript. First, we will go through the transcript sentence by sentence, developing hypotheses about lifestyle beliefs, psychological movement, and goal from each sentence. Next, we will practice points of a line reasoning and goal identification, and apply these two processes to the writing of a lifestyle summary from the hypotheses we developed from the transcript. We will also learn a 4-step process for using client-generated metaphors in therapy, and then apply it to 2 different metaphors from a role-play interview with a colleague or friend, or a created transcript of an interaction. So now let's go through each of the assignments in detail so you will know what is coming. But first, let's look at an assignment that you will do each week of the class, a personal reflection forum. This is a place for you to step back from the class a bit and reflect on your learning process and on how what you are learning is making sense to you and fitting in with your professional style. In this first unit, the Personal Reflection Forum is a place for you to introduce yourself to the rest of the class and to comment on your experience with assessment, individual psychology, lifestyle, and counseling or psychotherapy. For the next 4 forums, the content is open-ended. It is a place to develop competency in reflective practice, integrating your personal concerns and issues, your attitudes, values, and beliefs, your multiple individual and cultural identities, and your review of your professional performance. As you will see, the primary teaching method for this course is to give you a task to complete, and then, once you have completed that task, giving you a variety of examples of other people doing the same task. There is no correct answer for these tasks. You increase your skill in these interpretive tasks by practicing, seeing other ways the task could be done, and then identifying the roadblocks or obstacles you have that could limit your interpretive ability. The Personal Reflection Forums are a place to comment on your learning process. After you have watched the Points of a Line lecture and read Dreikurs' 1965 article on this process, there are 3 pattern exercises, one in week 1, one in week 2, and one in week 3. In each of these exercises, you will be given 2 disparate pieces of data, and your task is to speculate on a pattern that integrates the data into one meaningful general proposition. This is practice in using the 2 points of a line process. You will also be able to review the patterns identified by your fellow students for each forum, a critical part of the learning to use this type of analysis. There are 2 transcript forums. One focuses on 2 segments from the transcript, and the other focuses on 3 segments from the transcript. For each segment, you will identify the style words from the segment and develop hypotheses about lifestyle beliefs, psychological movement, and goal that are evident in the segment. This process is first modeled for you in the video titled Holistic Assessment Example in Unit 2. When you complete a forum and post it, you will receive the interpretation for those segments from the training manual. You will also be able to review the hypotheses that were generated by your fellow students. Reviewing the training manual and the hypotheses of your fellow students is a crucial part of the learning process for this course. You will begin the goal identification exercise by listening to my lecture in week 3. Then, in week 4, you will read Adler's case study of a 50-year-old man that is available on the course page. Your contribution to the forum will be a 1-paragraph discussion of the fictional final goal and the purposes of the symptoms that you see evident in this case. Once you have posted your discussion, you will receive Adler's comments on the case. You will also be able to review the comments of your fellow students and compare your formulation to theirs and to Adler's. The next exercises will take some work ahead of time. You should be working on this in weeks 3 and 4. You will need to identify a friend or a colleague to role-play an interview, or you can create a counseling transcript. You will need 2 metaphors to work with. For these forums, you will identify and explore the metaphor in the manner discussed in the metaphor therapy lecture and in the textbook. You will continue working with that metaphor for the transforming and connecting forum that is also completed in week 5. You can turn in a video or audio recording or a typed transcript of the identifying and exploring portion of the interaction, recognizing that the second portion of the interaction, the transforming and connecting portion, will be posted in the transforming and exploring forum. You will be able to review the work of your fellow students on this task and see how they have identified and explored a metaphor, and then see how they explored and connected that metaphor. For the special project, you will demonstrate your work with another metaphor. You can use the same client as you used in the assignment for week 5, but it should be a different metaphor. Or you could do a totally different role play or create a totally different transcript. Whichever you choose, the assignment is to identify and explore the metaphor, and then transform it and connect it back to the original context the client was talking about with the metaphor. You can turn in a video or audio recording or a typed transcript of your work. Here are all of the assignments in a table form. You can also get a copy of this table on the course page. Please notice that there is no final paper for this course. You are expected to spend about 45 hours on all of the activities for this course. This slide shows how I would recommend that you distribute that time across all of the resources and the assignments. This allows you an hour for each personal reflection, 2.5 hours to write each of the assigned forums, including the transcript forums, the pattern exercise forums, the lifestyle summary forums, the goal identification exercise, and the metaphor exercises, and to read the contributions of your fellow students. I have also included 3.5 hours to do the role-play interviews for the metaphor exercise and for the special project, and then 5 hours more to complete the special project.